Hi everyone, I'm JD from Willow Bound Journals. Welcome back to my channel. I am a journaler, journal maker, and teacher of journaling courses, and I've just got another Junk Journal with Me episode working in my faith journal today. So flipping through to the pages that I've already done and loving how this journal is filling out already. And coming up to my next blank page, I'm just working from front to back in this journal as my way of documenting my journey with God this year and how He's speaking to me and how He is showing up in my life this year. And so the passage that I'm looking at today, as I'm making my way through the Bible from cover to cover as well this year, is Genesis 12 verses 3 and 4. So it says, I will bless you and make you famous, and you will be a blessing to others. All the families on earth will be blessed through you. So I really love Genesis 12 verses 1 to 4, or verses 1 to 3, sorry. These verses are always a really good foundation for me. I love how Abraham, you could kind of say, was the first missionary, and how God called him, and then what did God call him to do is very specific to him, to leave his country and his relatives, leave his family or his father's family, and go to a land that God would show him. And obviously that's a leap of faith, and it might have been a bit of a painful process to let go and say goodbye to your home and your relatives and everything, but when he took that leap of faith, the outcome is that he would be a blessing to others, and that all people on earth would be blessed through him. And we're seeing, that legacy now here today. If we're in this family on earth, family of God together, we are living out that blessing. And I love how this can be reflected. I'm kind of journaling this in my journaling page, or decorating my journaling page, reflecting this, how my grandma was someone who always prayed for me, and she would put scriptures in all my birthday cards. Every year she'd give it birthday cards, and there'd be a scripture in there. And for most of my childhood, or all of my childhood, and most of my teens, or half of my teens, I didn't really pay attention to that. It wasn't something I cared about back then. I always thought it was a nice sentiment, but then when I did become a Christian at 14, and then looking back, keeping her cards and seeing those scriptures and knowing that she'd pray for me and think of me, I definitely see her legacy as well in what she sowed into her family and me as her granddaughter, and me being able to live that out now as well. And so I am thankful for what she did, even if I didn't appreciate it back then. I definitely, as I'm older now, can look back and appreciate all her prayers and thoughts and words and writings. And this is actually some of her writing here from her Bible college days. I love that it says Genesis, and the 13th of the 3rd, 1939. So I just wanted a little bit of my grandma in here to represent that family legacy, and how she was a blessing to our family in particular, but she was also, a blessing to many others. She would knit and crochet and embroider. That's one of her embroidered linens that she gave to me. And she would send them to people who were in need. So yeah, she definitely blessed many people, and I was one of them. So I love how this page has that represented here, and I've got other things on my desk that came from her as well that were passed on to me, and I didn't include all of them, but I did include later on a little piece of fabric from her quilting. It's cut into a little hexagon, and so again I thought that would represent how she's been a blessing to many, and yeah, I love all that rich history on this page. But in then what I was writing about was how, Abraham is such a great example for me, and I think to all of us, how we can follow in his footsteps, and that God calls us as well. He might not call us, like I said, to leave our country or family or anything like that, but I do think he calls us each to do something, and it might be like a big huge life thing, or it could just be season by season. What is he calling you to do right now? what is he calling you to do this year? Because next year he might call you to do something else. And just to maybe spend some time reflecting, if you want to do a journal prompt, and just reflect on, what is God calling you to do right now? And I love that whatever he is calling you to do, or all of us to do, whatever it is, that no matter what it is, no matter how different it looks from person to person, that he will bless us in it, and that through it we will also be a blessing to others. I love that. I love that so much. We are blessed to bless others. We are blessed to be a blessing to others. We can only bless others because we are first blessed by God, and that we don't keep all of that blessing to ourselves, that we are blessed so that we may pass on this blessing to other people, to our families, to our friends, to the next generations, to the people around us, to strangers even who may never know the impact that we have through God working through us. But it takes, that leap of faith, maybe, that obedience, that faithfulness to do what God is calling us to do. And I really felt God speak to me through this passage in particular for me today, where I am right now, where this year I am taking a bit of a leap of faith. I have no idea where it's going to lead, and it kind of doesn't really make any sense. And, in the natural world, you might think, well, that's not very wise or sensible. But when God says, hey, I'm calling you to do this, that he's going to provide, and he's going to make a way, and he's going to show up and be in that situation. And if whatever he's called you to, even if it doesn't make sense with our own eyes, that he will make a way for you. And it just might take that first step, and that first leap of faith, and then he will meet you there. And we don't need to know where it will end up. We don't need to know what the plan will be, where we'll be in 1 year, 2 years, 3, 5, 10 years. Just take that step and he will guide you. I like what it says, where God says, leave and I will show you, go to the land that I will show you. So he will show you. He'll call you, and he might not give you the whole layout of what he's calling you to, but he will show you along the way. And we see that through Abraham's story, how God shows him the land. He's continually showing him the land. Look at the land, he says, and see how far it stretches from here to here and from here to here. This is the land I'm giving to you. And he was very definite in showing him that. So I think that, God will also be very definite, very clear in showing us as well. Obviously, it might not be physical land or anything like that, but whatever he's calling us to, he will show us. That, we don't need to know right now. And so, I love though that even if we're afraid of this step, one thing that helps me to do it is not just that, he will show us in the end where it's going to lead, but that it's not just about me, it's about who it's going to bless. That I can be assured that, yes, he will bless me in this, but also that I'm doing this to bless others. And I love that. Whatever he's calling you to do, I want to encourage you, whatever he's calling you to do, even though it might not be something that you think has a great impact, if he's calling you to do it, it's going to have an impact. And I know a lot of people can, compare what they're called to do with what other people are called to do, but let's not do that. Just focus on your calling. Don't worry about other people's callings. Just look at your calling and know that it is just as noble and good and impactful as other people's callings. So whatever yours is, whether it's to just be a mother or be a wife, or to not have children but to work with other families maybe and other children, or to not be a wife and to not have your own family but to work in your local community or something like that. Whatever it is, we don't need to compare and think that one calling is better or worse than any other. whatever it is that you're called to do, just do it well. And when you do it well, and with faithfulness, God will be faithful in that, and He will bless you, and He will definitely bless others through that. And that's the thing. That's the key for me is He's going to bless others through your calling, and I love that. So what is He calling you to do? What is He calling you to do? If you feel brave and you want to share that in the comments, feel free to do that. And if you ever want to just message me or email me, feel free to do that too. If anything speaks to you but you don't feel comfortable leaving a comment, feel free to do that. But as always I say, like, share your story, because you never know who it may help. And maybe by you sharing what you're called to do, it will give someone else permission to go after what they're called to do. Because sometimes we need a bit of encouragement, we need a bit of prompting, or confirmation. I would love to know, what is it that God's calling you to do? It could just be something small, but even the smallest thing can have just as big an impact as a big calling in in natural terms. To God it might just all be equal callings, but you know what I mean, in the from our eyes something could look big or small, but whatever it is, I think there's going to be such amazing blessings to others, and we might not even see what that blessing looks like, but we don't need to know that. We can just be assured that He will bless others through that. So I love that so much. Anyway, I hope that was encouraging, and if you don't know what your calling is for this season, spend some time thinking about that, reflecting, praying, because I definitely think that God will answer you with clarity. And so have fun with that, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys. A big special thank you to all my patrons in December who supported me and Willow Bound Journals with the vision to bring light and love to the world through storytelling, journaling, and creativity and inspiration. You guys, without you, I could not do what I do full time. So thank you so much. You allow me to do videos and make journals and teach journaling courses. So know that you are having a huge impact on not only my life, but all the people who watch the videos, get one of my journals, or do one of my courses. If you would like to become a patron in January, the link will be down below in the description box. That gives you access to extra videos, printables, behind the scenes looks, personal updates, first access to my journals, and you'll be just supporting me, and I just can't thank you enough for that, helping my dream come true. May you journal your life, because your stories matter.